Our next one, ready? Okay, Leo, Hickman, take one, action!
Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Macon, Georgia is where this story begins. And it begins with my grandmother. She made her way north, just like many other grandparents. The rough road. But my grandma was funny because she was peddling liquor to get her way north. And what did this teach me? 3 things: patience, perspective, and persistence. Fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to my grandmother, Eileen Hickman. There were times in my life where things became difficult, and I would run to grandmother, and she would help me out. The first thing she would say is, wade in the water. I want to start with this story. I had this little Tonka truck. It was yellow, and I could sit on the back, and I would sit and I would pull up the dirt in the garage or in the backyard all day. What was I doing? I was digging my way to China. I just knew as soon as I hit that red dirt, oh man, I had made it. I never made it to China. And what did that lead to? Criticism from other kids. They would come by, they would throw things at me. They had jerseys on with the latest football teams and basketball jerseys with people dunking and Michael Jordan shoes. And what did I have? I had thrift store clothes. I had toys that had been passed down from one brother. I didn't feel worthy. I went to my grandmother, and she always prepared a cup of tea, Lipton tea at that time, and she would give me butter cookies. She would say, "Boy, sit down." And I always felt like I was being punished when I was already feeling bad. But somehow she had a way of bringing me back up with that. "Boy, sit down. What is wrong with you?" Grandma, man, they messing with me. I don't know what's up, man. You know, I'm a cool kid. What's up, Grandma? Look at here. I can't tell you what you are, but I will tell you what you're not. You are not what these other kids think of you. That was the first time that she put patience into me. She said, wait. All those kids that don't think you're cool right now, oh, they will. Just wait. Time progresses, as it does for all of us, right? Perspective comes along. And I'm running along and I'm doing my thing at this time, and I did pick up that ball, and I did play football, and I became awesome at it. But I didn't meet the standards of everyone else. You see, when you're putting all your time into football or sports or into yourself, then they start to wonder, well, what is wrong with him? Is he gay? How come he's not hanging out with all these women? Why is he focusing on his education? Again, I run to Grandma. "Grandma, they calling me names, man. Ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm tough. I'm lifting weights. I'm doing all this stuff." Perspective, son. Perspective. We sat down. We had a cup of Lipton tea. And she would pass on those butter cookies. And she said, "You see, the man that they see now is not necessarily the man that they're going to see in 10 years. Perspective. Take your time. Run your race. They'll soon see what you're made of and who you are." So I ran my race, and I was doing my thing. Sports came. I went to college, did a little time at Penn State, then I joined the military, and man, I played in the NFL Europe. It was going great. Couldn't tell me a thing. But there was one last lesson that Grandma had taught, right? Patience, perspective, persistence. Just like many people, September 11th happened, I stopped playing football. And all of a sudden my life was turned upside down. That education, the life that I thought I was going to lead was no longer the life I was leading. I was lost. And when you're lost, what do? You head out to find yourself. And when you head out to find yourself, it's about persistence. Because man, I tell you, it is rough. You will get beat down daily, and you have to get back up daily. One step at a time, one day at a time, right? Persistence. You have to get out the bed every morning, put your feet on the ground, and keep moving. Figure out what your passion is and constantly pursue it. Because that is where the winners come. Persistence. I stand before you today speaking as a Toastmaster because people cared about me and because I cared about them, and it led to me leading a life of persistence over the last year. And I've developed who I am just as you are developing who you are. And I tell you people, with patience, perspective, and persistence, we will all do amazing things.
If you